Hello viewers, it's good to have you back on HopeGrill today, and I have someone that is very close to my heart in the studio this evening, and we're going to be talking something very interesting, and we believe that by the time we are done, we'll be able to have taught you, infused, and actually you will experience hope at the end of the day. My name is Crystal Chigu and I'm your Hope Catalyst, and with me this evening is Tosin Praise-Fowowe.
Yeah, so she's live on Instagram for the very first time.
Are you for real? Oh,
yeah.
It's so good to have you this evening on the show, and I'm sure that our viewers can't wait to listen to everything that you have to tell us this evening. So I'm going to be allowing my guest introduce herself to you. I mean, I call her the financial diva, I call her the financial guru, I call her the financial pal, I call her a lot of things. But you know, with the show this evening, we're hoping that all your debts can be cancelled.
Be cancelled.
By the time you're done listening to Tosin Praise-Fowowe. Tosin, please, can you introduce yourself to my viewers?
Okay, so I'm Tosin Praise-Fowowe. Good to be here with you tonight. Thank you, Crystal, my sister friend. All right, so you know there are some sisters that have become friends. So that's one of them. And so that's me, Tosin Praise-Fowowe. And I help you to get your financial lives in order. Okay, so basically that's what I do. Some people call me coach, some people call me mentor, some people call me guru,
some people call you therapist,
expert, therapist. Well, so basically what I do is to help you structure your financial life so that you can have a structured life, an awesome life.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Praise. And you might be wondering why I'm bringing a financial expert on HopeGrill this evening. It's because if your finances are not together and you don't have your finances in place, you'll be worried. You will not live a fulfilled life. You will not live a wholesome life. And so Tosin is going to be telling us why she chose this path, why she has chosen to talk finance, and how she got into this space. Because I'm sure you were not born a financial expert, Abby.
No.
So please tell our viewers.
Okay, so I think my story would be a story of hope and as well. And basically because I've been down and out. I've been where I've lived a life where I had money. I've lived a life where I was totally broke and didn't have, I didn't have money to take care of the very next bill, and I'm always hoping that the next bill would be taken care of. How? I didn't know. And so I got to that point with my husband where we decided something needed to shift. A change needed to happen. There needed to be a transformation with our finances. And so we went after knowledge. We went in search of knowledge. We went out to, basically get as much knowledge as possible as to how we can change our financial lives, how we could change our own stories, how we could, live the kind of financial life of ease that we have always dreamt of living. So that was
like
what
the
led
American dream.
like the American dream, So that was what led us to me becoming more interested about finances, how it's done, what we need to do, what are the changes we need to make, and all of those things. It was not an easy journey. Okay, and so it's taken us about 5 years to get to where we are. It's taken us time, of mentoring, time of lashing out at ourselves, time of reading together, learning together, taking baby steps, crawling where we need to crawl, try and walk when we feel we are ready to walk, and we'll fall down and we'll say, let's just crawl. And when we are ready to walk, we'll walk. It's been all sorts of emotions, fear, hope, fright, and all of those things mixed up together in this journey of 5 years plus. And when they say there is light at the end of the tunnel, that gives you hope that one day is going to be better, and eventually we are at that place where we can exhale.
Wow. So if you're just joining us this evening I have with me in the studio Tosin Praise-Fowowe, and we're talking on how to budget and save on a low income. So I know I didn't tell you about that when we started. I mean, I just wanted her to get into it because we have just a very short time to really get to talking about what we need to talk about. So we're basically talking about how to budget and save on a low income. And Tosin has started by sharing her life experience and how she got into this space with us. Before we start telling people, what they really need to do, how to get hope from budgeting and saving and getting back into that, you told us that you've understood what it meant to have money, and also not having at all. So, because I know there are viewers, out there, and maybe some people that used to work in the bank or even in the oil sector. And I remember very well, you used to work in the bank.
Yeah.
And, somehow something happened and some form of adversity, and they lost, their jobs. And they don't have money any longer. So, tell us a little bit more about having money and then, not having at all, and then what you did to get out of that.
So earlier on today, I was talking with a couple of people, 2 people actually, and we got talking about a particular person who had been in the banking industry for many years and voluntarily pulled out and to go into oil and gas. And as at the time he was leaving the bank, he was at a net worth of about 600 million plus.
Wow.
And one calamity after the other began to happen. Then government policies was the very first problem he had. So there was deregulation in kerosene and all of those things, and 300 million naira worth of investment became 50 million. And from 50 million, things started happening, and as we speak today, he lives in a 2-bedroom house, rented house with his family. He's not sure of where the next meal is going to come from. And this is somebody. Okay, so because I didn't want to use my own story, say, okay, so she just worked in the bank for 3 years. What was she worth after 3 years? But I'm talking about somebody who had 600 million naira plus of net worth.
Wow.
And today is not even sure where the next meal is going to come from. So when you have gone through that path in life, a lot of people come out with a lot of wisdom on how not to anymore. And some people come out with that mindset of, I've done it before, I can do it again. Then they still are not wise with managing their finances. But for me, it was a story of, I earned good salary while I was working. So I had issues at my place of work. We were downsized. We were told to resign.
And which is really, the situation with a lot of people right now, and having, I think, the economic meltdown. I think we're coming out of it as a nation, but I don't know that you will let us know.
Okay, so
that.
When you lose your job and you don't have any other job, and a lot of people just go from that point of not having a job, the sadness leads them into depression, and they can't really come out of it. And because they can't come out of it, they cannot think awesomely, what are my next logical steps? And for a lot of people, that's just how things, just go from good to bad to worse, then to ugly. The problem at that point is not knowing what to do or not being prepared for the unexpected. But if you have a good financial knowledge and a good support system, you are able to move on from that place. And the biggest problem of bankers at that point in time, when that was happening, was that a lot of them didn't have savings.
Wow.
A lot of bankers would keep your own money, but did not have the wisdom to manage this.
Wow.
And a lot of them, because they feel, I am a banker, staff loan is the interest of staff loan is so they are just taking loan for this, loan for that, loan for. So by the time they were let go, they had so much debt with the bank that their entitlements could not really take care of the debt, and they had to still owe the bank and look for ways to pay back. So a lot of them came out.
Hold that thought. I mean, I'm just journeying with you as you're going, and it really, because at some point in my life also, I mean, I was in paid employment and having a lot of money, but I don't think it's even just bankers alone. I think a lot of times when we have our 9-to-5 jobs and we're sure that the bill will come in, we get to relax.
Yeah.
We're sure that the money will come in anyways. I'm going to be able to pay for it.
Exactly.
I'm expecting my salary to come. And I think that's usually what happens to a lot of people that are in paid employment, because you're not sure if you're going to lose your job or not. So you literally just...
I think it's denial, really, that happens to a lot of us. To think that the job will always be there.
Okay.
To think that my my paid job or my paid employment is always secured, then something ruffles the feather a little bit, and a lot of people find out that, well, what I thought was my life is no longer my life. What I thought was secured and would continue forever in my dream world is no longer the reality. So we live in denial, thinking this 9 to 5 will always be.
Wow.
We don't think about eventualities of maybe we God forbid, accident, a disability, or whatever.
Yeah.
We don't want to think about those negative things. Why? Because they are negative, and God forbid is not going to be my
Portion.
portion. Okay, so that is the self-denial, and we just live our everyday life thinking the next paycheck is going to come and take care of the bills.
Wow.
So when things go up
Not
and
as
down,
planned.
not as planned, people are thrown off balance, and they can't just pick themselves up from there. Chart a new course for their lives. And so financial life is in jeopardy. No, not jeopardy. Financial life is in
Shambles.
shambles. Yeah. And career life is in. So
Somewhere.
one goes north, the other
One
goes
goes
south, and the man just goes boom.
So, I mean, this evening we're talking about budgeting and saving on a low income, because again, it's not everyone that is opportune to be a banker. So, peradventure, I earn like a 50,000 naira, and even the 50,000, say maybe I even earn like 30,000 naira, and I want to look good. I want to do everything that I need to do. But here you are saying it's good for us to budget, it's good for us to plan, it's good not to live in denial. How do I, on that small income, be able to budget and be able to save and live a fulfilled life?
Okay, so the first thing you want to do is to define what your lifestyle is going to be.
Okay?
What's the kind of lifestyle you want? And I'm not saying dream. Your salary is 30,000 naira, for example. So let me play this scenario. Your salary is 30,000 naira, and you are thinking, based on this 30,000 naira, this is the lifestyle I want to live.
So maybe I earn 30,000, but at least I want to be able to buy nice shoes like my friend does. I want to be able to wear the kind of right makeup. I want to be able to eat in Domino's once in a while. I want to.
Okay, so we can do all of those things on 30,000 naira. Now, what will make the difference is the frequency of how you do those things. So I have a 30,000 naira income. I'm not going to eat Domino's every week.
Okay.
I probably eat Domino's once in a quarter. Why? Because I've planned ahead for it. So the once in a quarter, I know that in this or so month, there's a 3,000 naira that's okay. So every month, I don't know how to do this in a few minutes, but I think I'm going to try. So I have this budgeting system that I don't call it, that's what it's called. It's online if you want to read about it. It's called the wealth jar system.
Wealth jar.
Is the wealth jar system. Wealth, then JAR system. And basically what it does is helps you to apportion your money into six
buckets.
6 buckets like that. So one of the buckets is play or fun or whatever you want to call it. And that bucket is where you pick money from to hit Domino's, to buy yourself a good shoe, to get yourself a nice clothes once you have enough money in that bucket to do that. So every time you have gathered enough money in that bucket, you know you have money.
So really, I can't say, for instance, I have maybe 2,000 naira in that bucket and I need 4,000, but I have another 2,000 in another bucket, so I quickly take from this other bucket to.
It's what you have in that bucket that you basically use for. So once you are able to apportion your money that way, it's like having an envelope system. To say, okay, there are 6 envelopes. One envelope is for play. One envelope is for education or personal development, as we want to call it. So that money you use it for training yourself, so that you acquire more skills, so that you can improve your skills, improve your knowledge, and be able to earn more. So that's what that money is for. There's another money that is for your everyday necessities. There's another envelope that is for big projects that you don't immediately, that you need, but you don't have that money for.
I mean, sorry,
right now.
as you're talking, a couple of things are flowing through my mind.
Okay.
Should we still have, so the wealth jar system, can it work for organizations also? Can it work for NGOs, or it's just a personal lifestyle, personal budgeting system, like, or can companies also?
Every budgeting system can be adapted to any situation.
Okay.
So it can be adapted to a business situation,
Okay.
especially when you are at your growing stage. Okay? Especially when you're at your growing stage, you can adapt a 50-30-20 rule, which is 50 takes care of all your necessities, 20 takes care of your debt or your projects that you need to do, and 30 goes into investment, assets, or planning for the future of the business,
Okay.
or more like a plowback profit for the business or something like that. You could adapt any budgeting system that you use personally, because budgeting is actually, organizations were the ones using budgeting, and we realized, oh, it can work for our personal lives, can't it? Then we adapted it. So we can adapt it back. What has worked for my personal life, I think I can adapt it.
So if you're
to my
out
business.
there and you're listening to this, because it just struck me, you're out there, you're that SME, MSME just starting off, you can actually adopt this system for your business and see how it thrives. We're talking about how to budget and save on a low income.
So one of the things I did when we started, when I became more involved with Praise-Fowowe International, was to look at, okay, so as this money comes in, which one is our savings? Which one is the actual money that takes care of the printing of the books? And because it's more of intellectual property, we print books and we sell books. And so I developed a spreadsheet system that I adapted to the peculiarities of our own organization.
Okay.
And that way I was able to see, okay, so this is how much we make, this is how much we can pay out as royalty, this is how much we could, because at that point what I just did was break it down into percentages. So what percentage goes into royalty?
Okay.
What percentage is the cost of the book itself? What percentage goes into paying staff salary? What percentage goes into taking care of the office? So by the time I was able to spread it out like that in a spreadsheet, every month I see where we are.
Okay.
And so we cannot say, oh, because I am a business, this is how it would work. You will find what works for your business. And especially for SMEs and MSMEs, it's easier to be flexible with our accounting system. Why? Because we are starting up. And as we grow, we begin to tighten it up and firm it up and solidify in a lot of places.
Wow.
So currently what we are doing with PFI, as using our own organization as an example, is to bring in our accountant and say, okay, so we are at this point where we can scale things up. Can you tell us an accounting process that is going to work for us and to scale up? And so that at that point we are trying to tighten things up and firm up and consolidate on the knowledge we have had in the past, so that as we grow, we'll work with the new system. So basically, we can adopt and adapt and adjust our SME finance to fit the peculiarity of our organization and to fit the peculiarity of our businesses. So we can't say, oh, because it's personal budget, I cannot adapt it to my business. Well, the most important thing is that there is a budget within that organization that you are using and you're sticking with.
I mean, Tosin, our time is almost up, and before we go, there's something that I want you to talk about. I know it's not really part of budgeting and saving on a low income, but I know you have a book that is published, and the book talks about something that is, I think, is dear to everyone's heart. What the book, I mean, for me, when I think of the book, is I think of it as HopeGrill. It's something that when you do, it's a teaching that when you get, it will help you experience hope, because you literally get debt-free. So please, can you tell us about the book and how our viewers can get your book?
All right. So I wrote this book because a friend of mine realized we were talking, and we got to that point where we said the bulk of the people who come to me for help, financial help, are people who are in debt. And I've worked with a number of people and helped them, get out of debt. And she was like, why not document this process? Why not let the person who cannot afford your services be able to pick this thing and read through it, walk through the process, and be able to develop a plan for him or herself to come out of debt. So that was the premise on which that book was written. And it's a workbook, really. When you pick it up, you realize that there are a lot of activities for you to go through, processes for you to think about.
What's the title of the book again?
Is Get Out of Debt.
Get out of debt.
Yeah.
Get out. Get out of debt.
So it technically walks you through that process of how you got into debt and how you can get yourself out of it and how you can stay out of it, really. And so if you need to get the book and you feel, oh, you can come to Plot 14 Hilton Drive. You can get it from a couple of bookshops out there, I think, out of my head. I think Latana Bookshop has it. I don't know if First Family has it. That's Lista Bookshop. I don't know. Okay, but we have in a couple of bookshops, Bible Wonderland. All right, so you can get them there, or you can come to the office, or you can give us a call. We'll deliver to you.
Wow. I mean, we've been on the show this evening on HopeGrill with, I mean, I'm just listening. I'm almost like, opening my mouth and just like, how did she? And especially because I have a personal relationship with her also. I know the great work that she's doing on finance. And if you need someone to talk to on your finances, if you want to change your financial life and, have a life that's, of ease with respect to your finances, I think the person to go to is Tosin Praise-Fowowe. And she has the book. How much is the book again?
It's 1,000 naira.
It's just 1,000 naira to get a copy of Get Out of Debt. You've stayed there long enough. You need to get out of that debt. And I have a free gift for you. So for everyone that wants my free gift, it's my book called Lemons to Lemonade. What you need to do is send me a DM, and then you know what you need to do for you to get the copy of the free book that I call Lemons to Lemonade, Adversity Beat Down. I've already started talking to a couple of people about some of the things, and Tosin, you mentioned some of the things that I was talking about in that book also, which is, I mean, people need to first accept. A lot of times we stay in the denial stage so much, and I realized that this principle works across board. And today is World Book Day.
Exactly.
So we are celebrating the World Book Day, and one of the books that you must read is Irede, The Unending Story of Hope. You can get a copy of the Irede also at Latana, or you can just send us a DM, and then we'll find a way to get to you. And if you're living, outside of Nigeria in any Kindle country and you want to get a Kindle copy, it's also available on Kindle. Just go on Amazon and just type Irede, The Unending Story of Hope. It goes for just $10. Thank you so very much for coming up on HopeGrill this evening. And Tosin, is there one word that you want to tell my viewers out there on their finances that you think will help to grill their hope?
No hope is lost. No matter how adverse or how downcast you are, or how bad your situation is, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. So give yourself that pat on the back and say, you know what, I'll get there, and you surely get there. Your finances is going to take a good shape as long as you're willing and ready to work at it. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Tosin, for coming this evening. We love you, and we hope that you will come back again on the HopeGrill. And if you just joined us, you can get a replay of the talk that we've had this evening on Crystal Chibu on YouTube, and you just go there and just download and just listen. There's so much wisdom and the things that Tosin has shared with us this evening, and we look forward to seeing you next week, Thursday. Until then, keep grilling hope. Bye.